Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. Recently on my social media, I did a poll on Instagram, and it was about, I recently went to Sawgrass Mall, and as a lot of you know, I'm constantly at this mall on a regular basis, so to say, I guess you could say. So, I wanted to see what the new procedures would be like now with the masks being enforced and everything like that during the current pandemic and everything. So, this video is basically going to be on that, along with some other views I have been seeing recently when going out. This is a video most of my viewers wanted, and a lot of people did say yes to this being an informative video. So, with that said, please note that this is an informative video. A lot of the topics I will be discussing do kind of make me angered for the fact of the topic. So, yeah, let's just dive right into it. I also do want to specify on one thing. This video was originally going to be on about Sawgrass Mall here in Florida, up in Sunrise. But I also remembered that there is a Walmart close by, and I did want to touch up on that topic as well. So that will probably be the first thing I talk about because there's not as much to complain about on that area. So for Walmart, I'm noticing the problem with Walmart is they have announcements a lot in the parking lot and everything like that, which is good. So it's good that they are having the announcements. People in the parking lot aren't wearing their masks yet, so I don't know when the determination is for when you put on your mask before going into a place or anything. But yeah, I'm noticing that in the parking lots that people are waiting to literally get up to the doors before putting on a mask, I should say. And the really only concern I have with Walmart is, I don't know if in your areas, if they're doing this for social distancing and stuff, they have like kind of like a queue line with the taping and the markings of for whenever it gets too busy to a certain point and stuff. But recently this Walmart has been just letting people go in, but they do have somebody stationed making sure people are walking in with their masks on, which is good. They're supposed to be enforcing that and everything like that. Here's the problem is that I'm noticing is you have your majority that's wearing the mask, and then you have your majority that thinks they could do what they'd like. Meaning, whenever they bypass that one person that's making sure you are wearing your mask, what they're doing is literally, after they bypass that person who's checking, they're taking their masks off, which is kind of concerning. And I'm mostly seeing this where they're taking their mask off because this Walmart is set up where as soon as you enter, you have your produce, so your vegetables and all that, your food, your refrigerators and all that. And then the other side is your non-refrigerated stuff, so like clothing and everything like that. So literally right in the produce area with the vegetables and everything like that, I'm seeing a lot of people taking their masks off after bypassing the stationed person to the doors. And also, throughout the store, you'll sometimes see people taking off their masks. I have yet to fully see somebody enforce people put on a mask at all. Like, sometimes even employees won't be wearing a mask, but that's for other locations that aren't within the location I'm currently talking about. So that was my main concern with Walmart. Is just that. Sawgrass Mall, on the other hand, has so many wrongs. If you've never been to Sawgrass Mall, it is a huge outlet mall, like with really good pricing. You have your indoor air conditioned mall, and you also have an outdoor portion of the mall. You have your beginning for my parents and I. The beginning side of the mall is Brandsmart, Target, and stuff like that. The ending of the mall to us is the Disney Store, Marshalls, so on and so forth. There are 2 food courts in this mall. We really don't do the outdoor portion of this mall because it is hot here in Florida. So we mainly do the indoor portion of this mall. When it comes to entrancing, we say Brandsmart is the main entrance for us, but I think if I'm not mistaken, I believe the Disney Store side is the main entrance. I'm not quite sure. I have been recently back to the mall prior to this video, but I can't really talk about that because that was when stores really weren't fully open at the time. So it was mainly just a walk along in the mall, and stores were mainly deciding to be open main days of the week. But recently, when I was there Thursday, Thursday, more shops were open, which means more people. So with that said, this mall is, again, an outlet mall, so a lot of tourists come into this mall, and a lot of buses and everything like that. But with that said, let's start with the main problems I noticed with this mall. Now, I am here constantly, so I pretty much know what to look for in this mall. And yeah. But the main concerns I had was there's no mask enforcement. Like, your shops do have people stationed, where it is some shops are different than others. Some do have a one way in, one way out, with a person stationed at the entrance of every shop. And they are enforcing the mask and making sure that you are sanitized and stuff like that, and wiping down any little entrance thing that somebody might touch. But in the mall itself, and I do say in the mall itself, meaning the like walkway, it's like a 2 different thing. You have your shops, and then you have the walking of the mall. And I am talking about the walking of the mall. So normally I'll sometimes see like security walking by and, scanning and checking up with everybody in the stores and everything like that. I didn't see one security guard checking for masks or anything like that, if people were wearing them, enforcing it, or anything like that. I did not see that at all. Like I said, with Walmart, you had your majority of wearing masks, and you had your majority of not even wearing a mask. So some people were going in to the mall portion, and a lot of them had big groups. Like, some people were in like groups of 5 or more is a lot. Even with the kids, it's kind of a lot. But there was a lot of people taking their mask off. Some of them not even having a mask on. And in order to get to the stores, you have to have a mask. So there's no enforcement really of wearing masks. A lot of what people were doing, I'll show you with my mask that I have. to clarify what I am seeing. Some people, what they'll do is they'll wear their mask and then pull it down. So it'll be like this. It'll be like this. But then once they get into the mall area, what they're doing is this or this. And they'll be walking the entire portion of the mall area like this. And then whenever they do decide to get into a store, they'll put it on, or they'll just take it off in the middle of being in the store. With that also being a problem, I also want to talk about kids. I know kids aren't enforced to wear masks. Some of the kids that were in the mall did have a mask on, and some of the kids were just so annoyed with the mask that they were taking them off, and they kept poking at it and messing with it and stuff like that. I did want to talk about this one little girl I seen. It really bothered me. It really triggered me. It was a group of, I think, 4, and this group had 3 kids with them. Well, the one girl had her mask pulled down, but what she was doing was she was going up to, I think it was the chocolate store, and she literally had her hands pressed up on the glass. And she was her face was here's the glass, and she literally had her face up on the glass, and she was breathing on the glass and everything like that. Meanwhile, the parents were just sitting there on their phones, not telling the kid to stop or anything. She was up on that glass for a good minute. I know a lot of these things I'm talking about are probably just stupid little things and it shouldn't be this serious, but I want to let you know what I am seeing at this mall. So with the parents and their kids is they're not really enforcing what they need to be doing. The parents could be doing one thing and the kid will be running around somewhere else, and the kid might take their mask off, the kid might be playing with the mask. There was another little girl I did see that also was triggering me, because in one of the portions of the mall, they added a new little candy stand. And it's got a plastic dome, and you choose what you want candy-wise, and it goes by pound. Well, the family, the mom and dad, were choosing what they wanted, but the little girl, on the other hand, took the plastic dome off. At times, she would take the plastic dome off, and then times she wouldn't. And, what she was doing was she was grabbing the grabber to grab the gummies and stuff like that she wanted, and she was playing with it. But the parents weren't stopping her. The employee was just watching her. But I did notice the employee was getting worried as well. So I didn't stay to see what happened afterwards, but I am just letting you know what I am seeing currently. So do be aware that you do have people that care and not care. And the ones that are taking off their mask and just letting their kids do whatever, when they see you wearing a mask, they're looking at you like you're in the wrong. Why are you wearing a mask kind of thing. So just be aware of that. Within that topic, I do want to talk about, because this was kind of also, I believe it was the same group, but my father and I were in a GameStop. There's 2 GameStops within this mall, but we were in one of the GameStops on the side of what's the best landmark? I'll say H&M. No problem with the place. The place was fine. You have your dividers from your cashiers and everything like that. The place was not a problem. It was the people that were a problem. Um, to begin with, the GameStops in the location of this, the two GameStops that are in this mall are very small. The smallest one is actually limiting the basic amount of people into the place. I don't remember the number, but they are limiting how many people go in, and then they have an exit and entrance and exit. This one, on the other hand, it's just a door open, walk in, walk out. So, my father and I were looking at some games, whereas here was my issue. It was a group of, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, wait, no. It was like a group of like 4 or 5 people. But here was my issue. You had one woman with the stroller with a baby in it, but it wasn't like, I guess you could say an infant. She was blocking the row, talking to the other woman. So they're blocking the flow just by a big stroller. And then another 2 people come in, and they completely avoided space. Like, it was making me panic, and I wanted to get out, but here was my issue. I couldn't get out because of the woman with the stroller blocking my area. So I couldn't get out any way I wanted. I could have gone out the way with the cashier, but there was already another person with his 2 kids, and he was already so aggravated with his kids that he was completely ignoring them, and on his phone ignoring them, and everything like that. So I was pretty much stuck in this area with my bubble being popped, pretty much. So we were pretty much almost touching, but it's like people are not doing the social distance measure. Even when walking in the mall area, there were a lot of times where I got like a little like, ugh, you're a little too close. Because when walking this mall, people like run in this mall. It's like a power walk in this mall. So I'd be here and somebody would literally be right on my back. So do take that into account. If you don't want somebody really, really close to you, know that that will be avoided. Not like, people really just don't care in this mall. And I mean the people. Staff, on the other hand, might be a different story. Whatever. They're taking their measures to protect themselves. But the people in this mall, it's a 50-50. So be aware of that. Let's see. I do also want to talk about hand sanitizer stations. When walking the mall, I only seen one hand sanitizer station, and that was literally all the way at the other end of the mall. And that is the side where I said, Disney. I only noticed one hand sanitizer station. I didn't notice anything else for sanitizing, unless I'm supposed to go to I don't know if I'm supposed to go to a person at a store and be like, hey, can I borrow some hand sanitizer? Can I get some hand sanitizer? Something like that. But other than that, there is no stations in the mall itself. So if you do wish to keep clean and stuff like that, you will have to go to the bathrooms. Now, before the pandemic, I will admit the bathrooms have always been yucky. Female bathrooms have always been yucky. People just have some horrible hygiene, apparently. So, either bring your own hand sanitizer, which I strongly recommend when going to this mall, or just go to the bathroom and just be very cautious when in the bathroom. I do want to give credit to one store that I was observing most when I was in the mall, and that is Victoria's Secret. I was very shocked to see how they were enforcing social distancing and how they were just going about things. I was very shocked to see how they were doing it. It kind of reminded me like Disney. So, Victoria's Secret as a whole is a seriously big store in this mall. It's a really big store. It's set up really nice, makes you feel really classy and elegant and sexy and everything. But here's the thing that I really loved with this store is Victoria's Secrets had set up like a queue line kind of thing where they had the poles with the, you know, the stretchy, I don't even know the names of them. But within that, they had social distancing lines, taping on the floor. This is out in the mall area, so it's not even, you're not even in the store yet. You have to first get in this line, like a queue line, and be checked before you go into the actual Victoria's Secrets itself. So when I was observing, what the woman was doing was she let a certain amount go in. She gave a free bag. It was just like a paper bag or whatever. I guess what she was doing, what they are planning on, is if you have merch, you put it in this bag. It stays within your bag, kind of thing. I do not know, but she was letting people choose a free bag as they go in and stuff like that. You also have to hand sanitize your hands before going in. And it was just a really organized layout, whereas other places was not set up like this. I mean, yes, it did take a lot of time because you have to wait for her to say, okay, look, you can go in. There was already like 4 people like in the line, and they looked already done with waiting in a line. But I really commend them on that. Let's see. Mask enforcement, hand sanitizer, store enforcement masks, Victoria's Secret, so yeah. That's pretty much it with Sawgrass. I do not know how it was in the outdoor area. Again, I will specify that. Also, with the mask thing and people taking them off, I do want to specify that this is an air-conditioned mall, so there is no need to say, oh, I'm hot, kind of thing. But there is one portion of the mall, and as a landmark to you guys who've never been there, and you look at the map layout, the landmark will be Rainforest. Rainforest Cafe, the restaurant. Leading up to that, it is a big top. So it's a circus big top, and you walk through there, and then you go back into a mall portion. So there are bits and pieces of the mall where it is a little hot, and then some portions like the Disney side is like really cold. Brandsmart is like a really cold store. So it's like you have your portions that are cold, and then you have your little portions that are like warm, so to say. But generally speaking, throughout the whole mall, people were just not following what they should be. So just be aware. Those are the 2 main places I've recently been to, so I can't really talk about other places, but Sawgrass is a main key point here in Florida, well, in the Miami Sunrise area. So do be aware of that. Store wise, let's see. Store wise. Oh, I do have another thing. In Marshall's Disney side, I will admit I kind of got annoyed with the markings on the floor because some of the layouts don't really make sense. Like I think the marking needs to be redone because Marshall's is a big store, but they want you to do like a whole big avoiding of where you should exit. So it's, I don't know, you could just ignore that. If you actually go to this mall, you would understand what I mean. So it's kind of hard to explain it in a, yeah, so just forget that. But yeah, that's pretty much it with this video. If you do like this video and you do wish to know more as to what's going on, I was really going to do a video of me walking in the mall as proof to show you what is really going on in this mall, but I didn't think of it till now. Also, I don't want to take video of people and then not get their consent or anything, so I didn't really want to take a video of people and they not like it, and I didn't want to cause trouble in the mall, to be honest, now that I think about it, because I do know not a lot of people like to be on camera. So yeah, that's pretty much it. If you do like this video and you do want to know more about this mall or anything like that, just comment down below and I will answer you. If you do want a more informative video, as maybe the next time I go, and if things are different, then comment below, let me know. And yeah, I'll do what I can for you guys. I know a lot of the vloggers I watch are currently talking about Disney and everything like that. But I even said it when I was at the mall, that if the mall is like this, I can only imagine what it is like at Disney and SeaWorld and all those places that are currently opening up. I do hear that Universal is doing a really good job with social distancing and hand sanitizing and all that. So I do commend them on that. So I honestly don't see how we could go back with numbers going down. So I honestly don't, just based off of what I've seen at the mall, I do not think I will be going to Disney or anything like that anytime soon. I was trying to talk my dad going into Universal because we have never been, and he really wants to see the Harry Potter world. He really wants to see that, and I thought this would be an amazing time to go because there's not that many people, it's more organized, it's cleaner, everything like that. But after the mall, I don't think I'm not ready for that yet. But yeah. Also, I did forget to mention, in the mall area, if you can't handle walking for a long period of time, do note that normally in the mall area, in the walking of the mall, they normally have couches placed and seating areas throughout the mall. Do note that if you can't handle walking for a really long time, they did take up the couches and seating areas of the mall. So if you get tired of walking from Disney to Rainforest, as an example, they did take up the couches, so you cannot sit anywhere. As for the cafeteria areas, the two main eatery areas, so to say, they do have some places that are open where you could get your food, eat, whatever. I did not walk in the areas to sit for those. Those are also big portions where people could sit and gather and eat. I have not checked that area, so I don't know how seating really was for that. But, so yeah, just do note that there really is no places to sit, and that was really bothering my mom because she had just gotten off of work and we were walking the mall, and she was really tired and could not sit down. So do note that. I mean, it's good that you can't sit down and congregate and whatever, but just do note that. So with that said, thank you for watching this video. I love you all. If you do want more of an informative video later on, if I do go, please let me know, and I'll do my best as to what I can. Do note that I am not a huge vlogger, so to say, so I do not have the technology that is needed to show you guys what I do need to show you. I have a phone, but I'm an old school person. I do my videos through a computer. So yeah, just let me know what you guys would like, questions, ask. But with that said, thank you all for watching this. Much love to you all. Thank you.